In this video, you'll learn how to level, when to level, and who to level on your team. Genshin Impact is a game where you have to decide how you want to split your resources among multiple characters, so I want to make sure you guys are doing this in the most effective manner. I've made a lot of mistakes when I first started this game, and I don't want you guys to run out of resources and get stuck like I did. Before I get started, if you enjoy my content, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. I have a lot of awesome videos planned that I can't wait to share with you guys. With that said, let's get to it. Each ascension threshold has different resources it requires. This is the same for each character. As you can see, the higher level your characters get, the more intensive the resources are to get them to the next ascension rank. If you're trying to level all your characters evenly, you'll struggle very hard towards endgame. This is something you want to avoid. The smarter you are at rationing your resources, the better your damage and team comp will scale as you progress in world level. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, who are my carries? What characters am I going to funnel most of my resources in and have them carry the damage on the team? This really can be anyone. Pick someone who fits your playstyle and build your team around them. For me, that character is Fischl. In the early game, focus on one character, but as you approach AR 30, start thinking about who you want to build as your carry for a second team so that you can get through the spiral abyss. Make sure that you level and ascend your carry all the way to max. This is your number one priority. Pre-farm their ascension materials and make sure you have enough books to level them if you're close to that threshold. It gets more interesting for the other characters on your team. As you know, each level grants your character additional base attack, defense, and health. This increase isn't really useful for your support characters because those stats don't really matter for their role in the team. You should never look to level your support characters to max. A general rule of thumb is to focus on Ascension instead. Ascension grants your characters one bonus stat that's unique to them. Not only that, Ascension ranks 1 and 4 specifically grant your character additional passive talents. This is the most important thing to keep in mind. For the most part, you want to level the other characters on your team to 60 and ascend to rank 4. However, depending on how much impact the passive talent will have, you may not even need to reach that. In that case, level 50 is generally a good place to sit. For a quick example, I have my Barbara sitting at level 50 since her rank 4 passive isn't that good for my comp. However, I have my Xiangling leveled up past 60 since her rank 4 passive is very good. The second thing you need to know is how to level talents properly. Talents are a pain to level up and require a lot of grinding for talent books at later levels, costing you a lot of resin and time, since these talent books are only available a few days a week. For your carries, you want to level up your basic attack talent first, since you'll be basic attacking a lot. Also try to get all their other talents to max, since they'll be on the field the most and make the best use from the additional stats. For your other characters, don't level up their basic attack talent at all. Instead, focus on their elemental skill and burst. I always focus on maxing out the burst first before putting levels in the elemental skill, just because the additional stats that the burst gets will be a lot more impactful. Let's look at some examples. My Fischl has her basic attack maxed out, and I'm currently working to get her other talents leveled as soon as possible. For my Venti, I have his burst maxed and will be working on his skill when I have additional resources to spare. The last thing you need to know is how to level your weapons properly. As always, try to get your carry's weapon to max level in Ascension. This will amplify the amount of damage you'll be able to deal in a fight. Also, look to refine it as much as possible if you have duplicates to do so. For your other characters, focus on the secondary stats the weapon provides. Since leveling it for attack isn't that useful, you're again looking at how your secondary stat goes up when you put levels into it. Use your intuition and instinct. Would boosting that secondary stat make a sizable difference to how your fights play out? Do you have the resources to spare? Ask yourself these questions before committing levels to your support weapons. Currently, I've only put a few levels into the weapons of my support characters, just enough to give me a sizable boost in energy recharge. I hope this quick guide has brought you some additional insight as to the philosophy behind rationing your resources for each of your characters. The most important takeaway point here is to pay attention to how you play your comp and make adjustments accordingly to how you level your characters and weapons. Take this video as a general guideline, but don't be afraid to get creative and find what works for you. If you learned something from this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future Genshin Impact content. Also, take some time to watch some of my past videos if you haven't already. With that said, that's it from me. Till next time.